Kyrol, The Rising Shadow. Chapter 1. Kyrol breathes heavily, sweat dripping down his face as he blocks an attack from a crimson lightsaber. Looking up at the assailant, he couldn't see their face, as it was shrouded under a black hood. The attacker performed an upward slash, causing Kyrol to stumble back, hitting his back hard against a large tree. Close by was Master Kazina. She too was fighting 3 of these figures at once. Her skill was unmatched despite being outnumbered. Taking a defensive stance, she parried 2 attacks at once before using the hilt of one of the attackers to hit the third in the head, dazing him long enough for her to incapacitate him. Kyrol re-engaged the fight, attacking with powerful and heavy strikes. He goes for a jab, but the attacker simply uses his bracer to block the lightsaber, causing it to short out. Backed into a corner, the master and apprentice smiled as they locked their arms. Within seconds, they sent out a powerful force repulse that knocked all 3 attackers back, hitting the dirt hard. Kyrol's lightsaber reignites and the pair charge in. Working together, they dispatch the attackers with ease. Are we done yet, Master?
Not yet. We still need to regain control of the planet. Looks like we have a long run back to the command center.
Kyrol turned around, finally seeing just how far their battle had taken them. All around them were destroyed trees, and the ground was scorched, scarred by the battle that had just taken place. In the distance, he could hear a battle raging with explosions. He lowered his head, taking a deep breath as he ran to catch up with Master Kazina. But he quickly fell, as she turned around to check on her student. Helping him up, she saw he had a sharp piece of bark lodged in his side, with blood staining the tunic. It's fine, Master. I can walk it off.
No, you can't. Now sit still.
She pulls out a small medical kit from one of her pouches before carefully removing the piece of bark, Kyrol wincing in pain as she does. Opening the kit, Master Kazina pulled out some Bacto spray and cut off a piece of her cloak to use as a makeshift tourniquet. You know you're getting really good at using the combined repulse, Master.
A student is only as good as their teacher.
After the mission on Corellia, it seemed only right to teach his master the technique, knowing it could come in handy in a tight situation. Kyrol smiles at the comment as he slowly gets back up, and they make the long trek back to the command center. As they got closer, the Jedi could hear the battle dying down, as the enemy forces were in a retreat, their vessel blasting into hyperspace as cheering erupted. Walking up a few stairs, Kyrol saw 5 Republic troopers, 4 of them at a large terminal, and the others standing by a holotable, overseeing the battle. He was a well-built man who was wearing a bandolier around his chest and had a massive blaster rifle on his back. They each wore battle armor with helmets. Their armor had an off-white color, but the men sitting at the terminal had dark blue paint, while the other man had orange paint. His armor, too, was slightly different. It appeared to be a heavier variant of the standard Republic armor with bigger shoulder guards.
Any updates, Commander?
The commander removed his helmet, revealing a man with a darker skin tone, a bald head, and a short black beard. He wore a silver eye patch over his left eye, and his demeanor was confident and assertive.
Bordal is secure. I was just about to inform High Command of our success. All able bodies have begun providing aid and medical treatment for those in need.
Very good. I will join you as I need to inform the Council about these dark acolytes we have faced. Kyrol?
He turned to face his master.
I would like you to help them in the relief effort in any way you can.
Yes, Master.
It's right over there, Jedi. Straight ahead and Captain Sem-Rek will be waiting for you.
He pointed to a small dot on the holotable. It was just a short ride away from the command center. Kyrol bowed before walking down the steps, just as a hologram of the members of High Command appeared. He hopped onto a nearby speeder, following the trail of destruction left by the battle. Kyrol saw so much on this short ride. The once grassy fields and beautiful plains were now scorched and blown up due to the blaster fire and artillery. He saw so many dead, and even more injured, with both Republic soldiers and citizens helping in any way they could. There were still large, thick clouds of grayish-black smoke covering the sky. It pained him to see all this destruction, and for what? Making it to the location, Kyrol parked his speeder, finding large tents all scattered throughout an enclosed area. In a strange way, it felt like he was back on Corellia with how crowded it was.
I'm assuming you're Kyrol Novak.
Kyrol turned around and saw a man wearing the same armor as Boar, though he had his helmet on, and the armor had green accents. Yeah, I was sent to help in your efforts.
Follow me.
He walked with the captain, seeing many grieving the loss of their loved ones or being put on stretchers. He had seen destruction before, but never on this scale. Captain Sem-Rek pointed to a tent, and without saying a word, Kyrol knew what he meant. Walking inside, it was full of wounded. He stood there at a loss for words, but the sound of a screaming little girl brought him back to his senses. Running over, he saw a group of medics trying to give a small girl a healing stem, but she was putting up a fight. Another medic was trying to push them away from her. He was a younger man, maybe only 4 or 5 years older than Kyrol, and had bright orange hair.
Stop! Can't you see you two are scaring her? Let me handle it.
We got this, Alpax. Go find something else to do.
Both of you stop! All turned around to see Kyrol as the little girl moves farther away from the medics. He slowly walks towards the child as he gets down to her level. Kyrol spoke in a calming voice, his expression warm and comforting. Hello, my name's Kyrol. What's yours? The little girl slowly moved closer to Kyrol, her demeanor shifting to a calmer yet still scared state.
Eliza, are you a Jedi?
He gives a soft smile and places his hand on hers. I am. He noticed that Eliza kept looking towards a small stand that had a doll placed on it. Is this your doll? Eliza nodded, and without hesitation he slowly used the force to levitate the doll towards her. She grabbed it, holding it tight. Now calmed down, the two medics once again tried to give her the healing stem, but she hid behind Kyrol, hoping he would keep her safe. Fed up with their disregard for the child's comfort, Kyrol snapped at the two medics. You two go find someone else to help. Me and my friend here got this.
But
Go. The two walk off, finding others to help.
Thank you, Master Jedi. I just wish those two bantha brains would just listen instead of thinking they know better.
Kyrol chuckled at the comment. The medic kneeled to Eliza's level as well, pulling out a healing stem, but she gets scared.
It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. This'll help you with your shoulder.
The medic eyes Kyrol, hoping he would do something. Thinking quickly, Kyrol used the force to do simple tricks with Eliza's doll, making it jump up and down, do cartwheels, and even dance. This distracted her long enough for the medic to finish treating her as he gave Eliza a sedative so she could get some rest.
Thanks again for your help, Master Jedi. I'm Chip Alpax.
He reached out his hand as they shook, while Kyrol gives a slight chuckle. Kyrol Novak. And I'm not a Jedi Master just yet. Chip, what division are you with?
Well, I'm not really in a division. They just send me where I'm needed.
They help the injured, and the two get to know each other.
Well, I was born in Coruscant, and my grandfather served as a medic when he was my age before he got injured. I looked up to him, so I studied medicine, and when all this started, I chose to enlist as a field medic just like him, despite my father not wanting me to. Let's just say he doesn't like the Jedi. What about you, Kyrol? What are your parents like?
Kyrol stopped what he was doing, unsure how to respond to the question. After a moment, he collects himself. I wish I knew. Chip's face bore that of confusion. He wasn't really expecting that kind of response. Seeing his expression, Kyrol elaborated. You see, we were taken from our parents at an early age so we can be trained as Jedi. The most I see are quick flashes of them, like my father's calloused hands or my mother's beautiful smile.
I'm sorry, Kyrol. I had no idea.
It's okay, Chip, but I guess you could say the Order is my family. We all look after each other and help one another. It's nice, knowing you're not alone.
I'm assuming you can at least have friends, right?
Yes, Chip, we can have friends. My best friend, Liam Ryland, is currently in the Outer Rim, helping those injured in a bombing that was orchestrated by the Black Sun.
What's he like?
He's one of the greatest people I know. He was my first real friend in the Order, and he's like a brother to me. Of course, there's my master, Shara Kazina. She's a great teacher. Unlike everyone else, she saw potential in me and took me as her apprentice.
You got anyone special back home?
Kyrol paused for a moment, thinking about Dasha. It had been 4 weeks since he last saw her. Being far apart was hard on them both, knowing he may never return. He snapped back out of his thought, replying to Chip's question. Well, I wouldn't say special, but Dasha Kuvi is one of my closest friends. She just loves to poke fun at my skills as a lightsaber duelist. Before, I thought she was arrogant, but now I can't imagine my life without her. Two spent the rest of the time talking about all kinds of things while helping the injured. It was strangely nice in a way. All his life he had only ever had friends within the Order. Yet, despite their limited time together, Kyrol could confidently call Chip his friend.
Kyrol, our transport is ready.
Oh, right, of course. Guess it's time for me to leave. The two shook hands once again before Kyrol followed Master Kazina to the transport. Stepping inside, they grabbed the handlebars as the vessel took off. Master, I think we should get Chip Alpax assigned to our battalion permanently. His skills as a medic could prove useful for both us and the battalion as a whole. Master Kazina strokes her chin, deep in thought.
I would have to agree with you. I saw a bit of his work myself, and I will see if I can get him assigned to our battalion. However, it's up to High Command to determine where he goes.
After a short trip to the medical wing to see to their wounds, Kyrol makes his way back to his quarters. The cruiser felt different compared to the temple. He had been in large ships before, but this was different. As he passed by Republic soldiers, he greeted them with a warm smile. Yet every last one of them either ignored him completely or made snide remarks. Two of them even shouldering him to the side as he passed by. Finally, he made it back to his quarters. It was a small room, yet definitely bigger than his room at the temple. It had a dark steel gray color with a simple desk and a bed that attached to the wall. Sitting on his bed was a small box. Curious, he opened it to find a set of Jedi battle armor that was used during the Great Galactic War. Pulling it out, he found a note underneath from Master Kazina, reading, "Try it on." Even though Kyrol didn't want to, he did so just to please his master. After Kyrol put on the armor, he looked at himself in the mirror. Despite his disliking of the armor, he couldn't help but admire the craftsmanship. Suddenly, his holoprojector goes off. Answering it, he sees Dasha. Even through the flickering blue hologram, she was as beautiful as ever.
There's my brave warrior. I've got to say, that armor suits you.
Like how that outfit suits you. The two shared a laugh. I don't like it. I know it's for our protection, but it just feels weird. I don't know. Guess I'm too used to the robes and tunics.
Well, it beats getting hurt. Besides, you can wear whatever you want around me. But I still like the armor.
The two share another laugh before they look at each other solemnly, their eyes full of longing. I miss you, Dasha.
Me too. Want to hold on to this?
She places her palm underneath the yellow Capra crystal, the bottom just barely touching her hand.
It's like you never left. I'm glad you're okay, Kyrol. When I heard about the casualties of the siege, I was scared that you had been one of them.
Kyrol lowers his head, thinking back to all he saw on and off the battlefield. It wasn't pretty. A lot of innocents were killed. I saw a mother get killed right in front of her child by this dark acolyte. That monster butchered her, made her suffer all while her child watched. It's too late to save the mother.
That's horrible.
There were 3 of them, but we put a stop to them, so at least the families were avenged. Dasha closes her eyes and shakes her head in disbelief.
Where are these people coming from? I heard that Master Kafirnum faced 4 of them 2 weeks ago, but I thought it was a rumor.
I don't know, but I hate to say it, but my best guess is that they used that same spell that they used on me 2 years ago. Perhaps it's a more advanced version, with no hope of breaking through it. Have you been sent out yet?
No, Master Harkin doesn't want me to fight until I'm fully prepared. I don't understand it. Me, you, and Liam all fought worse and came out fine. He gets to fight and help while I'm stuck here, going over the same drills I've been doing for years, or stuck with Master Gartev and her boring lessons. The only upside is that I have time to look through the data we found on Gesture Mincer.
What did you find?
Not a lot, but I did learn that she was trying to find a way to get to Calypso. There's some kind of dangerous nebula that is impossible to get through. According to what she wrote, the Black Nebula destroys any ship that tries to go through, and whatever goes in doesn't come out.
Freaky.
I thought the same thing. Did Liam tell you he's back from the Outer Rim?
Wait, he's back? How long? Is he okay?
He got back yesterday and he's been very distant. He's really beaten himself up over what happened on Corellia. I'll try to talk to him later, but he's really keeping to himself right now.
The Padawans stared longingly at each other for a moment. What they wouldn't give to be together right now.
Hey, I gotta go. Master Harkin will kill me if I keep avoiding my lessons with Master Gartev.
Guess you must wait till I get back so you can have some fun again.
Then hurry back, my brave warrior.
The transmission ends as Kyrol sits in silence on his bed, already missing her. Seeing Master Kazina's book on his desk, he grabs it and starts skimming through the pages, not really looking for anything, just trying to keep his mind occupied. The door soon slid open as Master Kazina walked in. Kyrol placed the book down and stood up. She too was wearing the same armor as him, but instead of blue accents, it had green accents, while her hair was pulled back into a ponytail.
How do you like the armor?
To tell you the truth, Master, I don't like it. I know it's for our protection, but this just doesn't feel right. Being warriors and leaders? Master Kazina nods her head in agreement, placing her hand on his back and ushers him to sit down with her sitting next to him.
I know, Kyrol. I don't like it as much as you, but we have to do our part to keep the galaxy safe. Penny and the Senate already blamed the Jedi for not stopping the attack in the first place.
As they should.
Kyrol, you know it wasn't.
Yeah, I know it wasn't my fault. That's what everyone in the Order has been telling us, but Master, it was our mission, our responsibility. If we had noticed that those crates were empty sooner, then maybe we could have stopped it before the Senate was even attacked in the first place, and...
Stop that right now. You are not to blame for the Senate attack. That cowardly act is solely on those responsible, and no one else.
I know, but... Master Kazina placed her hand on his back. Her face was serious, yet it also had a comforting expression.
No ifs, ands, or buts, Kyrol. I understand why you blame yourself, but your mistakes do not define you. Learn from the past to move forward. That's all you can ever do.
Kyrol nodded his head in understanding as she lightly tapped his knee before they both got up.
Come. I think it's time we introduce ourselves to the battalion.
Inside the main hangar of the cruiser stood around 500 men and women, all of different races. Each one wore the standard off-white Republic armor with different colored accents. They were all talking amongst themselves about their new Jedi leaders, many of them still apprehensive of the idea of being led by the Jedi. Others thought they were to blame for this conflict in the first place because of Don Wynn. Whatever the case, they were ready to give their lives in service to the Republic. Commander Bohr stood with a few higher-ranked troopers as the turbolift opened and outstepped Master Kazina, followed closely by Kyrol Novak.
Company, attention!
Quickly, everyone fell into position, each one standing at perfect attention. The master and apprentice walked down the hangar looking at their new battalion. Kyrol was uneasy about all this. With time, he would get used to it. They stood next to Commander Bohr, and after a moment of silence, Master Kazina stepped forward, slowly pacing back and forth, with her hands behind her.
Greetings. I am Jedi Master Shara Kazina, and this is my Padawan, Kyrol Novak. Along with Commander Bohr, we will serve as the leaders of the 53rd Attack Battalion until such a time when the galaxy is safe once more. I expect everyone to pull their weight around here. Remember, out there, we work as one. When one fails, we all fail. I expect that all of you will show both myself and my Padawan the same respect you would show Commander Bor.
Why do we even need Jedi? What, the Republic thinks we can't handle it, so they sent their crazy wizards? I bet I can take you on single-handedly.
Master Kazina stopped dead in her tracks and turned to face the 53rd head-on. Both Kyrol and Commander Bor looked at each other, unsure how this would go.
Step forward, soldier.
All the other men and women looked at each other, unsure what was going to happen, while the one soldier walked towards the front. Each step he took had a layer of cockiness and arrogance that would make even Dasha annoyed.
Now remove your helmet and state your name.
The soldier obliged and removed his helmet. Underneath was a man in his early 30s with dark blonde hair and bright blue eyes.
It's Slack, miss.
Well, Slack, why don't you show me how good you really are? If you can land 5 hits on me, then we will leave.
Slack stood there with a smug grin on his face.
But if I land 5 hits on you, then you will clean and detail every starfighter and transport for 22 bull rotations.
All the other soldiers chuckled and murmured amongst themselves.
Just to warn you, I graduated top of my class at the academy. But I promise to go easy, sweetheart.
Then this should be easy for you.
Master Kazina turned around, detaching her lightsaber, and handed it to Kyrol. Kyrol couldn't help but smile knowing how this would end. Commander Bor, too, had an ever-so-slight smile despite his serious demeanor. She stood across from Slack, hands behind her back. Her demeanor was calm and composed. It was the same demeanor Kyrol had seen countless times during their training sessions. Slack brought his hands to the front of his face, his hands tightly clenched. He went in for a set of fast punches, aiming for her shoulders and chest. Master Kazina effortlessly dodges each attack, not even moving her hands. Slack throws a punch that she dodges by leaning her upper body back. Some of the men and women let out an audible gasp, amazed by her skills. He throws a few more punches and kicks. This time, Master Kazina blocks each one with ease. He throws another punch, but she grabs his fist, catching Slack off guard. She lands 2 consecutive hits on Slack's chest, one with her fist and the other with her elbow before flipping him over her shoulder as he lands hard on the metal floor. Dazed while getting up, she landed another punch to the chest that caused Slack to stagger back, trying to catch his breath. While distracted, she dropkicked Slack, knocking him to the floor once again as Master Kazina turned to look at Kyrol, giving him a confident smirk. She turned back to face Slack, who was still breathing heavily on the floor. After a moment, he slowly got back up, still determined to win. He charges at her, and in one motion, Master Kazina turns around and lands a right hook on Slack's jaw, causing him to fall to the floor once again.
You may have graduated from the academy, but I passed the Jedi trials. And let me tell you something. Those trials test far more than the academy will ever teach you, sweetheart.
Kyrol couldn't help but chuckle at what he just saw, and Slack gets back up, both bruised and embarrassed.
Next time, keep your opinions to yourself, Slack. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Slack falls in with the rest of the battalion, slightly limping and holding the back of his head as a few troopers hold back their laughter. Kyrol hands Master Kazina her lightsaber as she fixes it to her belt.
Now, as I was saying, myself, my Padawan, and Commander Bor will be your leaders. The Republic has appointed all Jedi Masters and Knights choosing to fight as generals of their respective divisions. So, as general, I have chosen to have Commander Bor be my second-in-command, with my Padawan acting as lieutenant commander. Now we will be arriving on Tython soon. The Council has set up barracks for all members of the Republic military, and you are free to use them if you wish. Dismissed.
The entirety of the 53rd salute before they break off into smaller groups. Slack tried to sneak off, but Commander Bor caught him.
You heard General Kazina, Slack. Get to work cleaning and detailing the ships.
Without saying a word, Slack grabbed the necessary tools and began detailing one of the larger transport ships, with Commander Bor watching his every move.
Really, Master? Lieutenant Commander? I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of responsibility.
Master Kazina placed her hand on his shoulder.
And that is why you are ready. You are already a leader. You just don't know it yet. I know when the time is right, you will step up and be the leader I know you are. Meet me in the training room in 10 minutes.
Kyrol bowed in respect as she returned the gesture. He walked around introducing himself to the men and women of the battalion. They asked him questions about being a Jedi, and all having a laugh at Slack getting put in his place.
So, it looks like we're in this together, huh?
Kyrol turned around and saw Chip with a big grin on his face.
Chip?
The two greeted each other with a firm handshake.
I guess I must thank General Kazina later for getting me assigned to the 53rd.
Kyrol smiled, happy to at least have one person who he could call his friend.
Listen, I'd love to stay and talk, but General Kazina's expecting me for training in a few minutes. How about we catch up later?
Sounds like a plan. Take care.
Kyrol made his way to the turbolift. Stepping inside, the door slid shut before the turbolift shot up. It had been a long and challenging day, but in his heart, he knew that the worst was yet to come.